How's it going, critter people? I hope you all are doing well. We are back at another video that was suggested to me saying Bella must not change gait without me asking her. An extra video of Bella before I ride her tomorrow. So this is, an older video. So I will be giving my opinion on this video. All footage being used under Fair Use Act for education, criticism, again, giving my point of view, trying to give a voice to the horse or the animals involved. Just pointing out things that I might do differently and look at things the way the animal might be looking at them. So if you're interested in watching this, then let's get started. Okay, so she's got her, I do love the color of this green here, I just gotta say, but with horses, it's, like color is everything, but I like the green, that's my favorite color. Got a rope halter, tied looks like over this bridle here, we got the bit in her mouth, we've got, I hate it when I don't like it when I see people doing this, when they tie, around the surstringer or surcingle, whatever it is. This little girth here, surcingle, I think, I don't know the names of things. But when they tie her reins to this girth here, because it's going to keep her head bent and keep more control, and it's just like uncomfortable because it's pulling on her mouth.
Her reins.
Poor thing. So she's chewing on the bit. God, it just seems so irritating. So she also has her reins that she's just tied through here around her. She has the halter on still. I mean, you could take it off, but apparently, I don't know, it's easier not to. I don't know, just uncomfortable. Like, imagine having...
They're not there for any purpose today. It's just attach them to the bridle.
Oh. Okay, so she has the lead rope attached to the halter. I see why she's doing that. But, I mean, imagine having your jaw tethered to, your sternum or your chest, with a strap around your back, and you can't lift your head a certain way, or it's really tight and really uncomfortable, and, there's like a piece of, there's a piece of floss or something in between your gums and your teeth. All right, so every time you try to move that floss, well, say it's floss, this horse has a piece of metal in their mouth, but, say the floss digs into your gums, you're not going to want to keep pulling against it. Or imagine you have a wire in your mouth in between your teeth and your gums, and you're tethered like that. I mean, that's what this horse feels.
Say, I've got a noseband on today.
Even if this were tethered to the noseband, it would be better, in my personal opinion. Not that anyone cares, but I'm sure the horse, would care. But I still wouldn't like it because you're still bending her nose down for a long period of time, just unnatural. She can't carry her head the way it's unnatural for her. She can end up stumbling. She can, end up getting a sore muscle or hurting stuff. It's just, I don't like to tie anything to a horse's head when they can't have, room to stretch.
You may remember back to cobble a bridle together because we broke it. We broke the headpiece. So this noseband doesn't belong to this set.
I'm not worried about sets. I'm just worried about... Ay. That's gotta be so... just uncomfortable. Poor thing.
Yes. Okay, walk on.
Gotta use her little flashy whip there. I mean, just... look at that. She's tied to her bridle and, it attaches to her mouth and it's just uncomfortable.
Go.
God, that's so uncomfortable.
Walk on.
Every time she fights it, she pulls on her mouth.
Good.
Ugh, poor thing. Little tail swish, maybe a little irritation, frustration.
Rot.
God, this poor horse. Like, the only way to keep the pressure off of her mouth is to bend and curl her neck down, which is just unnatural. Even if they bow their neck, this isn't bowing, but, if she does the roll, curve, whatever, nonsense, it's not for constant, it's not for a long period of time, and it's not for, circles, run round and round. God, this has got to be so uncomfortable. Poor thing. I mean, I don't know if she can breathe properly this way. She certainly can't see. She can't, balance properly. And every time she moves her head, she's getting pain on her gums from the bit. I mean, it's not a leverage bit. It's not, necessarily going to kill her, but it's uncomfortable. It's like having a wire in your mouth. Or even a piece of floss in your mouth. Like, every time she lifts her head, it's just hurting her mouth.
Well done. Good girl.
God, poor thing.
Good girl. Yes. Good girl.
Little head scratch. Not really much of a reward for this horse other than, I mean, like, with the constant pulling on her mouth. And, like, you might say, like, well, the horse can learn to not pull. Well, I mean, okay. I mean, again, just chewing on the bit, just learning to have a hard mouth, little tail swish there in the back. Ouch. Just so irritating. I mean, she's very good at her verbals. Poor thing. I mean, like, this, I mean, I like that the line is, like, you know, long, but it could be loose. If she happens to get her foot over this, then she can pull her head down. I mean, she could trip. She could hurt herself in all sorts of ways. Just, I mean, I'm getting a headache and a neck ache just looking at her.
Thought about going into the walk there, but didn't.
So she muted herself during this time. So is she what is she saying now here? This whole time she's been muted except for that voiceover. Has she been telling her to keep trotting or keep going or good girl or whatever? What is she telling the horse here? She could be screaming at the horse for all I know. I'm not saying she is. I'm just asking why did she mute this part? Gosh, again, I wonder about if this horse can even really breathe properly, you know, without being able to really extend their head, because they rely on their nostrils. And if she's like this, she's kind of bending her windpipe, trachea. I don't think it's the esophagus, the trachea, whatever. She's probably not breathing as normally or maybe as comfortably as she normally would, especially with your head down running in a circle.
You may have noticed she was about to break from the trot to walk, but you thought better of it, didn't you? Because you knew I hadn't said walk.
Because she's a slave, she's like, God, lady, just let me go. Please get this off of my face and out of my mouth. If she were just doing this in a rope halter and like had the girth or whatever, you know, if she didn't have her face like this and no bit, you know, I wouldn't have a problem with it. I mean, again, nobody cares what I have to say anyway. I'm just trying to speak for the horse.
Very good girl.
Now the tail switch back there.
Good girl, remembering that you can't just change gaits when
Just, again, talking to her while she's petting her. Another tail swish. It could be because I saw a fly over there. It could be flies. It could be irritation.
Very good girl.
Poor thing. I mean, like, she can't really do anything. She's like, it's like having, you know, your hands tied behind you. Like, just, the horse can't do anything. So, of course, she's going to be a good girl to you. She thinks, like, the little head nodding is like, yes, you're saying yes. The horse says, ouch, it hurts my mouth. Please get me out of this. It's very uncomfortable. Ears are back the whole time. Trying to breathe, catch her breath. Poor thing. Look at how hard she's breathing. I mean, like, she may not be breathing this hard if she were just going in little circles with her head straight. Or her head at a natural carriage. Well, then, if he were to be distracting her, then maybe you should have your little work area in a different area. Or you can learn how to work her through those distractions.
Okay.
It'll make her a better horse, and it'll make you a better, horse person.
Walk on. Good.
She says, I'm irritated, I'm tired, I don't want to go in more circles because I keep pulling on my mouth and it hurts. I'm tired of running circles.
Canter.
Oh, straight into a canter.
And walk. Walk.
Maybe this is why she muted herself.
Walk on. Good.
Very confusing.
Canter. Good girl.
Ouch. So when horses walk, they bob their heads up and down, for just their natural carriage. It helps them to see. And so when she does that, she's going to be, especially cantering, a light jog, whatever, she's going to be bumping her mouth on this tight, rein here over and over again.
I was just saying earlier she knows the words, which she does. She just didn't want to do it then. She knew what I'd asked for.
Do you know? Like, in a moment like that, like, a lot of people find it convenient to say, like, oh, my animal, they know their words. They know what this means. They know what that means. Like, does she? And if she does, then why does she not want to do it? If she actually does know the words, it seems like she knows it pretty well, but why does she not want to do it? I wonder why. because she's running in circles, endless circles, because she doesn't have a good bond with you. She doesn't associate you with anything fun. She has a bit in her mouth. It's tied to this girth. Her head is down. She never has fun when she's in this arena. She has fun with Apollo, which is why she wants to be with him. He wants to be with her, be little horsey buddies. But no, it's never the human's fault, right? It's always somebody else's fault. They're just being stubborn. They just don't want to do it. I wouldn't want to do it either. Sorry, see if this will be a little bit better as far as graphics go. Again, just endless circles, yell at you, so then she kicks it into high gear, just irritation. Naughty, yeah, that was naughty. Okay, she's been doing all this for you for however long with this bit in her mouth, pulling on this. And yes, I'm always going to go back to the bit. I don't care what anybody says. I don't like rubber bits, leather bits, especially not metal bits. I don't care how soft it is. I don't care if it's a plastic bit. You don't need any pressure in the side of the animal's mouth. It shows lack of skills to me. That's my opinion. Of course but she thinks the horse is the one being naughty. The horse is tired of this nonsense. I think it was in the movie, Black Beauty, where he, Ian McGregor might have said, he was the voice, I think, of Black Beauty, where he said that, that nonsense can drive a horse mad. Kind of slowing down. I mean, yeah, I'd be just as irritated if I were her, as a horse. She wants to slow down. She's tired. She probably can't breathe. She's getting hot.
That decides no, otherwise I'm going to get shouted at.
What did she say?
Thinking of stopping Burks that decides no, otherwise I'm going to get shouted at.
Yeah, or you're going to bump her halter, or you're going to shake your bag, or you're going to yell at her. So, wow, lovely. So she thought about it, but she only did it because she knew, or she thought about she's going to get yelled at, versus, oh, I want to keep doing it because it's rewarding. I know that's not really like the biggest thing in the horse world, because people, a lot of people don't necessarily use like positive reinforcement, but yeah, the horse only does it because they're going to get yelled at, or worse. God forbid she couldn't learn that this is something kind of fun. Like, I do this for 2 or 3 circles, and then you let me stop and be a horse. Poor thing. Just slave-master relationship.
And whoa, good girl. Stand.
So what happened between that time? She has a few flies on her. I mean, it doesn't necessarily look too bad. I know these lighter horses usually attract flies. That can lead to more irritation, more distraction. But I am curious about that cut there. She still doesn't necessarily know stand very well.
I only shouted at her because she shouldn't break her gate without being told. I wasn't asking her to do a huge amount.
Really? You're not asking her to do a huge amount? I beg to differ. The horse begs to differ. Every time you pet her, her ears are back. God, this horse is like... I hear you. I hear you, little Bella. Not acceptable. Why? I mean, God, look at this. A picture is worth 1,000 words. Like, horses don't open their mouths like that unless they're in pain. This horse is just constantly pulling on our mouth. Now, look, I can understand we don't want the horse to stop certain things and do it on their own terms, especially if we're riding on their back, but look, if we want to be able to teach them to keep going until I give you another directive or another behavior or whatever. But even if they do, that's part of the learning process. That, okay, if she wants to stop, I can still ask her to go again. I can, give her a break. Maybe I need to give her less time and stop her next time before she wants to stop on her own. So that she doesn't learn to stop on her own. But when I tell her to stop or speed up or go, wherever. I mean, like, I don't care much about lunging like this. I mean, the most I lunge a horse is like 2 on a walk. I don't make them run, and certainly not like this. But I teach them. I just have them, do a little 2-circle, if that, lunge in both directions. Get their mind, just get their feet moving. I don't know why she has to have the reins, like the bit on her. Maybe it's because she's trying to teach her how to in quotations hold her head. I don't know.
When you're on my time, that's right.
This horse just has no relationship with you. She's just so irritated. This poor thing. Like, ears back the entire time. This is not a happy horse. She's just chewing on the bit. Like, no release of this.
Good, yeah.
She doesn't care. She's such a cute horse. Just straight to a canter. Again, more circles. Bit in her mouth. Popping her on the face. See, all this, like the bit and everything else and tying that causes pain can cause confusion in the horse. Or all your signals or everything else going on can cause confusion in the horse. Especially when a horse, a flight animal, is in pain. They're not going to be listening to you. They're going to be focusing on the pain and how to stop it. Or whatever is scaring them. And no matter, how aggressive you get, like that person I covered the other day, this girl just kicking her horse and drives him into a ditch. She wasn't listening to her horse, and she didn't realize that the more pain she caused, the more she made him more anxious.
You may have spotted that I'm not using my flag very much at all now. And this is all part of getting her ready for riding, because I won't be able to take my flag with me when I go riding, so I might as well just not use it when I'm lunching.
Well, I mean, that's good. That's one positive thing I can say, but she will just end up relying on another tool, like her whip, which she uses, as she shows that she uses. Like, this horse does not look ready to be ridden. I mean, it just seems like she's going way too fast. I know that she's already ridden the horse by now. This is an older video. But this is just like way too advanced, in my opinion. You're working way too fast with this horse. I mean, the horse is 4 years old. Shouldn't even be started under saddle or ridden until between 5 and 7, because her back's still fusing. But it doesn't matter. This just seems too advanced, I feel like, for the horse. She's working really fast. Screaming at the poor horse. It's not naughty. The horse is telling you, I'm tired. I'm running like this in a very uncomfortable situation, a very uncomfortable position. I'm running circles. I'm tired of running circles. It's hot. I mean, I know it's cloudy. We don't know what the temperature is. Her face is basically tied to her rib cage. I mean, this poor horse. So I don't know how many more circles she's going to do. Finally gets her to come in.
Good girl. Yes, I did remember to come in as well. Good.
Of course, she knows to come in. Again, ears back. The whole time. She's not giving this woman ears at all. I mean, of course she knows to come in, because that's how she gets relief of pressure. So I don't know how long she's been doing this with this, with Bella. It just, even if it's only been 9 minutes, that's 9 minutes too long. Poor thing, she's going to be talking about her, I don't know, Facebook jumping, all this other nonsense. I'm not a fan of jumping. I think it's, unless the horse can choose to do it on their own, if they have a rider on their back, or you're forcing them to jump these really high jumps, I don't agree with it. I think it's just hard on the joints and everything else. But anyway, those were just my opinions. From here, this is how she acts here, and then she says she's going to start riding her the next day. So this horse doesn't look anywhere near ready to be ridden. But, okay. Anyway, so I hope you enjoyed the video. If you would like to check out Patreon, you can. I will leave a link in the description below. You're welcome to subscribe, like or dislike my video, and by all means, if you want to follow Tara, please go do that. I'm not going to tell you not to go follow her. I just do not suggest the methods being used here, but that's my opinion. So, it's a free country. You can follow whoever you want to. You can do pretty much whatever you want to with your animals. But for everyone who enjoyed the video, then thank you very much again for stopping by. Say hi to your little critters, no matter how small or big they are. Give them some love and say hi for me. And until next time, stay positive.